doing all that commentary. I was doing all the commentary, and I hadn't pushed the live button. But anyway, we're here. It'll be interesting to see how Joyce goes about it. I'm just commentating, and I didn't hit the live button. Wow. So we're in it now anyway. I was saying Donny Palmer, he's had 11 fights, 9 wins, 1 loss. But, you know, Donny Palmer's big. He's 6'10", like I did in previews. #1 fighter in Honduras. He called David Haye saying he wants to take the fight. I don't know if he actually genuinely believes he can beat Joe Joyce, or he just did it. He's doing it for the money. We'll soon find out. Here's Joe Joyce, unbeaten. Obviously, 2 fights he's had as a pro. But remember the Olympic pedigree, which is what Donny Palmer hasn't had. And that experience will bode well. Joyce is going to be a lot fitter than the guys that Palmer's fought. He's going to have probably better boxing brain than a lot of the guys that Palmer's fought. And he'll have certainly better boxing technique, stamina, work rate. So we'll see. As I said, he's going to be fighting on May the 5th. So if he was that much of a challenge and that dangerous, then I don't see David Haye putting him in that kind of a fight against Palmer, who's meant to be that much of a threat. I think David Haye's just talking up the fight so that people tune in. And, you know, oh, yeah, he called me and he said he wanted to fight. But I don't think this guy really, I mean, he's big. He towers over him, but over Joyce, but I don't see him being that significant. You know, if anything, a guy that big, you've got much more, he's nowhere to hide. So his whole body's there to be hit. His chin's there to be hit. Joyce being a smaller target, well, because the bigger you are, the harder you fall. And I expect Palmer to fall inside 3 rounds. 3-4 rounds, I said. No more than that. I think we'll see now. I don't think Joyce will look as... and Joyce comes to the center of the ring, first round, moving his head, nice to see, and popping out a nice jab. Joyce popping the jab. There's hits. Palmer with a straight right hand straight away. Now onto the body. And Palmer's covering up. I think he's already been hurt by Joyce. I think he got hurt by Joyce by a right hand. Joyce using the jab. Bouncing around a bit, using the jab. Big right hand. Down goes Palmer. What did I say? What did I say? We'll see how much Palmer wants to fight as soon as he gets hit on the chin. And Palmer's down in round 1. And the fight is over. Well, Palmer didn't know where he was, whether he was in Honduras, whether he was in America, whether he was in Bethnal Green in London, whether he was in Hackney, whether he was in Mars. One big right hand from Joyce, and it's all over. Joyce supposedly wasn't a big puncher. So he walked in there thinking, hey, I'd have to worry about it. He got stunned earlier. That was the thing. He got hit the first right hand he got hit with. Here we watch it again. Joyce hands, look at this. Jab, jab, and then Palmer still walking forward. Shuffle, jab, jab. Again, hands down by the side. Bang, right hand on the top, on the temple, down you go. You don't get from shots like that generally. All over. Look at it. He made Joyce look like Ali in there. I'm not joking. Watch again. Jab, bang, right hand. And I said it in the preview. This guy's going to make Joyce look very good. It's a highlight reel. This is a highlight reel. And that, as a highlight reel, is exciting. That's great. That's what people want to see. Heavyweights getting knocked out. All 6'10" of him. I thought this would go 3 rounds at least. But Palmer, like I said, never fought anywhere near this level. So he was going to get... I expected Joyce to do exactly what he did, but not as devastating as that. Does it send a message to the heavyweight division? Yeah, it does. Don't leave your chin out, hanging out to dry against Joe Joyce. Don't sit there thinking that Joyce can't punch, because anyone in the heavyweight division can punch. So it was a really silly thing for Palmer to have said. And David Haye will be happy with that. That's just what I wanted. Talk up the fight, talk about the opponent, make the opponent larger than life. He's a huge guy. He's cut the fight. He's got nothing to... He's not scared of Joyce. Yeah, of course. Haye is a great promoter. Let me tell you something there. He's a great promoter. I think if David Haye continues, he's going to go on to be a very, very good promoter. Because his mouth, he's articulate. Yeah, man. Thanks for the payday, man. I appreciate it, man. You brought me over. Thanks for the payday, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Thanks for the payday. Yeah, man. I didn't really think I'd beat you, but, you know, I had to make some money. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks, David. Thanks, Dave. Look, I went over as well. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks for the payday. Nice one. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. I said this, but I didn't expect him to get blown away that quickly. Really. What do I mean by not fought anywhere near this level? I'm talking about Palmer. He'd never fought anywhere near the level of Joyce. Remember, Joyce is an Olympic medalist. You're talking about a guy that's fought at Olympics and has fought, you know, he's got that pedigree behind him coming into the pro ranks. He's not a guy who was an amateur, who had no amateur background and stuff. That's what I'm explaining. That's what I'm saying. So I expected this to happen. So there'll be tougher tests ahead for Joyce. Stanley Account says, look at the guy, this guy. He looks like a heavy bag in the gym that Joyce works out at. Ridiculous. Someone needs to get this guy a bra mat, X-rated stuff. It says Standing 8 Count. Big Nasty looks like payday bum, says Rills. Knocked out already. What a debacle, says Rills. Payday bum, bin man, trash can. What a flaming mockery. Big Nasty, more like Big Softy. Chisora would get KO'd too, says James Crockett. Over before it even started. That was smart, knocking out your opponent in 20 seconds. Yeah, that's good. That's great promotion. That's what you want this time. Why he fights such bums? Well, no, listen. You tell me the first 12 guys, first 15 guys Mike Tyson fought is great. Tell me if you know it, how many of them you know off the top of your head now. You know, this is something, even Lennox Lewis, you name them all. Golovkin. At the end of the day, you can't knock Joyce. Joyce fought Lewis in his pro debut. They fought in Lewis in his pro debut. So I don't think that, overweight or not, he still fought Ian Lewison. So I don't think, you know, you can't put him in with Godzilla at the moment. He's got to build his career. I've got to say, from what I saw of Joyce tonight, he looked looser. But then he looks loose against a guy that's like Palmer. And I said, slow footwork, that sort of stuff, you're not going to do it against Joyce. If you're going to beat Joyce, you're going to have good head work, head movement, good footwork, fast feet, in and out, or good footwork moving around the ring, maneuver around the ring. You're not beating Joyce like how that guy has absolutely no chance. And if you stand in front of him thinking he's not going to get hit, then you're not going to get hurt. Then that was it. The first right hand that Joyce landed, Palmer was hurt, and he started covering up. And the inexperience of Palmer is he didn't grab and hold and try and get his head clear. No, he just kept walking forward into Joyce. So Joyce just set him with the jab, and hit him with the right hand. So fair play to Joyce for that. Absolute fair play. Is there any difference to Fraudley after Fraudley's first two fights? He fought Lewison. I don't think Audley fought. The first time Audley fought anywhere remotely around that class was when he fought Danny Williams. So, yeah, Lazar, Adrian jumps in and says, Wilder was fighting these dudes 30 fights. He laughs my head off. I've got to agree with you there. Totally agree with you there, Adrian. So even Deontay Wilder was fighting these type of guys early in his career. You still need to develop a heavyweight. Look at Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis. You name any of your fighters, any one of your fighters you want to name, look at their record and the guys they fought before they made it. They fought a certain set of guys, and that's what it is. David Hayes a prick. Well, fair enough. That's an opinion. I understand why a lot of people are upset by David Hay because of all the cancellations and all the rest of it. I appreciate that. But let's not knock Joe Joyce. This is what he's done tonight. Fair play to Joe Joyce. Didn't expect this guy to be a big test. And remember, I warned you guys. I warned you all. He's fighting on the 5th of May. So I didn't expect this guy to be any real big test. You usually get an idea of what what's going on with a fighter and how much a promoter respects the other opponent when they've already got a fight lined up a couple of weeks or a month later, you know, or a month and a half later. So Question is here, even Joyce is surprised and speechless. Well, yeah, maybe I expected him to go a few more rounds, but durability, I don't think he'd ever been hit that hard before. Damn, imagine if you bought tickets. Well, this heavyweight division, I didn't expect Donny Palmer to come over and do any damage. I didn't expect him to come over and cause a whole hoopla. I did expect him to fall over. I did expect Joyce to get him in 3 or 4 rounds. I did say this was a highlight fight. That's exactly what it was, a highlight fight. The kind of rule you play back when you're going through on YouTube and you want to say, who's Joe Joyce? Oh, wow, look how he knocked out that guy in 20 seconds. So people are now going to think that Joe Joyce is a puncher, and we'll tune in to see Joyce knock other guys out like that. So David Haye, marketing, promotion, and strategy-wise, great fight for Joe Joyce. Great fight. And I'm so glad Joyce didn't go, 10 rounds again with Palmer. Look, if Daniel Dubois had done the same thing, people say, wow, Daniel Dubois, great knockout. So sometimes people get biased, not because of the guy that's fighting, but because of the promoter. And a lot of people don't like David Haye. And that's understandable. I understand that. Then they say, he's a David Haye fighter, blah, 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 blah. I understand. It's understandable. But don't hate Joe Joyce because of David Haye. Hate David Haye because of David Haye or Joe Joyce. So I get that. From Lewison to this, how is that progression? I think it is progression, only to the point that, he needs time to work with Ismail Salas. Remember, he's got to work with Ismail Salas and show what you can do. So, he looks looser than he did in his first fight. He seems to be looking a lot looser, a little bit more flexible. I expected him to still have that sort of languid, robotic style. He seems a lot more loose, Joyce. However, again, he did it against money. We'll have to see how he does against a guy who actually can move his head a bit. Again, I'd like to see him fight Sokolowski. That would be a nice fight. Sokolowski v. Joyce. That would be interesting because Sokolowski could punch a bit. He takes a good shot. He's never been knocked out. Price couldn't knock him out. Fury couldn't knock him out. So if David Haye were to put Joyce in with Sokolowski, I think that's a good fight. That would be a good fight at the O2. Sokolowski takes a good shot. He's busy. He works hard. Rudenko, that's a good fight for Joyce if you want to put him against them kind of guys. But remember, Palmer didn't, he's just a guy to get knocked over. That's what it was. People didn't like what I said, but that's the way it goes. Should fight Hughie Fury next? I don't think so. Hughie Fury should fight Dave Allen. I think that would be a good fight. Should Hughie Fury win the British title, I think he should give Dave Allen a shot. That'd be a good fight. Let's hope Haye does some better scouting for Joyce next. No, he did. David Haye did a brilliant, phenomenal job with Joe Joyce tonight because you tuned in expecting to see this big guy, Donny Palmer of 6'10". You expected him. You actually bought into what David Haye said because David Haye said he called me up. He wanted to have a fight. He wanted to fight Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is he's stiff and Joe Joyce ain't got no punching power. Blah, 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 blah. So you all fall for the dialogue. And of course you fall for the dialogue expecting a big fight. Well, it's not a big fight because you just have to look at Palmer's record and look at the guy that Palmer got beat by and look at who he got beat by. So, listen to David Haye as a promoter and say to yourself, God, this guy does a great job at promoting. Now let me look at the actual guy the guy that he's talking about as an opposition. Let's look at him. And I guarantee you, every guy that Joe Joyce fights, Haye's not going to say a bad word about him. He's going to say, big praise him. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful, he's fast. Oh, remember, he fought this guy about 10 years ago, but he fought this guy. Just the dialogue that David Haye goes on, because that's the dialogue that David Haye has fought with all his career. David Haye told us with Klitschko, oh, I'm going to take his head off, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. We all saw what happened in the fight, all right? We saw what David Haye said for the belly fight that got us all interested. I'm going to do this. I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to put him in hospital. All the bravado. And then when it came down to it at the end, the belly showed him what he was all about. So David Haye, he's very articulate and he knows how to sell a fight. Remember, he's a promoter. He's not going to tell you this guy's a bum or he's going to say this guy's crap. He's not going to say that. That's not his job. His job is to get your bum on the seat or to get you on TV watching that stuff. That's what David Haye's about. So that's what it is. That's what it's about. Didn't expect anything more or less. That's what it is. Sadly, I'm afraid to say. But does there need to be a post-fight interview? I think the interview's lasting longer than the extra fight. Don't be surprised, because I can see the Chisora fight happening. I can see it being made. Unless Chisora wants to get out of that, I'd like to see. I still would like to see Joyce versus Sokolowski, Joyce versus Rudenko. You know, at this time, those are sort of guys I want to see fight. There's other guys in the heavyweight division. Josh Sandlin, would be nice to see him fight him. Martin Bakole, I'd like to see him fight Martin Bakole. That'd be a good fight as well. Are they going to stick Joyce in with those fighters? Look at the guys Joyce is saying he wants to fight, or the talk. And now ask yourself the question, why would they take the Chisora fight? I would like to see Chisora fight. Now, Joyce will have a problem with Chisora. Only if Chisora gets himself into supreme shape and Chisora actually come to win. I think the Dillian Whyte fight took a lot out of Derek Chisora, and he's on the downside of his career. And if he comes in the sort of chugga size that he came in against the guy he got beat for the European title, Joyce will jab his head off. I don't know if he'll stop Chisora, but what Chisora needs to be like is a Chisora that fought Klitschko. That Chisora, lots of head movement, coming inside. That's what Chisora's at his best. Chisora's style is much better against guys who are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". Then they can hit the top of his head instead of hitting his chin and moving in close. Chisora's style does not work against guys who are 6'2", 6'3" on height. So, because he can hide his chin, the tuck is behind his top of his head, and all the fighters see the top of his head. Those guys are 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", see the top of his head and moving in and out. But I think Chisora as a fighter is done. I think he's finished. The Dillian Whyte fight, and then the fight after that, he's done. I mean, he doesn't have any ambitions to be world heavyweight champion. He just has ambitions to make as much money as possible. And that's fair play to Chisora, but I just don't think Chisora is the force that he was once upon a time, now. So good scalp, a good fight for Joyce. I don't see Chisora beating Joyce, believe it or not. That's just being honest. So should there be a post-fight for this? I don't know. This is the post-fight, isn't it? So let me know your thoughts. As always, I hope you enjoy the rest of the boxing, and I'll be working hard to try and get, hopefully, we've got 2 names we'll be bringing on after the boxing tonight. We're looking to, well, 3 names we'll have on 2 international names. So we'll see what we can do tonight for you. I'll see you after the boxing. Take care.